So I'm not even sure I'm going to actually upload this video because I mean it's on a subject that is, I mean, of so I mean such a low amount of consequences, non-consequential issue. I mean, even under the category of pop culture criticism, which is a valid category, and I've dealt with it. I mean, I've had my share of computer games review and film review and music review in the past, and maybe I'll do more, even more in the near future. But yeah, I mean, this is really stupid. But I feel obliged to say something regarding the Disney remake of The Little Mermaid. So, I mean, one thing that is special about The Little Mermaid, about this particular reboot, is that my daughters are going to actually watch it in cinema with their mother. They've already told me that they're going to actually go to the cinema with their mother to actually watch it, and I mean, yeah, I mean, there is something in me that, I mean, is kind of there is, I mean, some kind of nostalgia about it, because it was the first movie of that it was part of the Disney Renaissance. And while, as you understand, I mean, I didn't I mean, my own family were not hell bent on Disney. I mean, neither my father nor my mother, of course. And I mean, it's not Disney movies were not really, I mean, I would say, I mean, they were not regular items in our cultural buffet when I was a child. But I mean, you couldn't really escape the Disney Renaissance. I mean, of course, when I grew up, people didn't know. I mean, children, especially children, didn't know that we are part of the Disney Renaissance, because only on in retrospect, I mean, people understood it. But yeah, I mean, it started on 89 with The Little Mermaid. I was 5 years old, and yeah, I mean, I went. Of course, I remember going to see The Lion King with my father. I was 10 years old, I think, and in cinema. And I've seen Aladdin in cinema, and or Aladdin more precisely, and many, of course, many other movies. And I've said, I mean, and I've actually seen the last one, which is considered part of the Renaissance, which is Mulan, when I was 13. I remember that I went with a friend of mine, and we seen it in what was then the new cinema in the Canyon Ramat Aviv, which was right where I lived. I mean, just in my name, in my street where I lived, it was a new cinema back then. And I actually liked it a lot, and I've seen it quite a bit of time since then. I think it's one of maybe the best animated feature is the 97 Mulan. So yeah, I mean, now, I mean, so but as I said, I mean, and I mean, you don't need me to say it, because it's the common opinion, and it's the correct opinion, that the remakes are awful. They're really awful. Probably the best one, which is not that good, but it's the best, is the Jungle Book, which I've actually seen with my then wife in the cinema, and I actually reviewed it a while ago in Twitter. I don't know if you remember or if you have access to it. And I think that's it's a good, actually, the Jungle Book is a very good, item, I would say, I mean, a cultural product to explain why the whole issue of the remakes is so horrible and why they're all bad, just because it's the best one. I mean, it's easy to pick the really horrible ones. I mean, but I mean, it's more, I think that it's make more you make a stronger point when you actually pick on the toughest enemy, even though it's not that tough, because, as I said, it's not that good movie, but it's probably the best one. And I actually have already spoke about it in Twitter, so you can find it if you want. My own criticism of the remake of the Jungle Book. I like the original, I would say, but it's not a very bad movie, the remake. It's most probably the best, and it's a good example to explain, I mean, what I have against those remakes. And I would say that perhaps I mean, you can even find some of it original, because it's actually, I mean, in my criticism, because I admit it's difficult to be original in the genre of criticizing Disney. I mean, they are kind of the punching bag in the last couple of years. So, I mean, and I mean they earned it. I mean they've earned their status as the new like critical punching bag. But I mean, in order to actually be innovative in this genre, it's you need I mean, it's difficult. So, but maybe. I mean, if there is a really good, like, if there is like a tremendous demand, I can like redo this video. I mean, here in YouTube, if you really want to. I don't remember if I've done it in Hebrew or English. If it was done in Hebrew, which is probable because during the time I mean, I've done my videos in Hebrew, so it's actually a good excuse why should I redo my criticism of the Jungle Book, of the remake of the Jungle Book in English. In YouTube, so this might be like an excuse to actually redo it. Anyway, what I wanted to say about the Little Mermaid is that I hope my daughters will enjoy it. I mean, I already think. I mean, why does it need to be like 130 minutes or something like that? I mean, are you crazy? The original was 80 minutes in it or 85 minutes, and it was like I mean. And nobody complained that it's too short. Like I mean, and contain everything that you wanted. Like I mean, no one ever. I mean, there like I mean, in the last 30 or 34 years, I mean, there was so much criticism of this movie, and mostly like justified because it's really. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, its depiction of like a relationship between men and women is problematic, and I mean, but really, you don't really need me to say it. I mean, it's obvious. Like I mean. However you look at it, it's problematic, and it's especially problematic when you feed this thing to little children. But I mean, no one ever thought to himself or to herself, let's make it a much longer movie. Like, why do you need it to be that long? And like this already can be a problem with my daughters. That I mean, they have patience and they're 6 and 7 years old. But I mean, why should they suffer throughout all this like dark movie? I mean, for so long in the theater, it's already a problem. But there is also actually, I mean, specific, and that's what I wanted to actually say. I mean, that's the excuse of this whole video is that specifically regarding the Little Mermaid, unlike other like I mean, this is also correct to other like Disney remakes, but it's especially true. Like I mean. It's magnificently true to the Little Mermaid that, I mean, specifically to the live action remake. I mean, a mermaid. Yeah, I mean, my daughters, of course, they like mermaids, and they have all sorts of like mermaids since they were born. You know, in like all sorts of like albums and stickers and like I mean, dolls. Of course, I mean, yeah, even without like relation to the original feature film. I mean, yeah, it's like. I mean, they are not as popular as unicorns, but I mean, they are number 2, I think, after unicorns and princesses. I mean, mermaids are popular, even without relation to the Disney feature film. But I mean, I think it's quite obvious that specifically regarding mermaids, I mean, it's kind of like a creature that, I mean, it's kind of it's mostly super cute when it's animated. Like from artistic point of view, it's super cute when it's animated, but it's probably extremely disgusting to actually encounter it in real life. Like I mean, think about it for a second. I mean, think about like you go to the beach or something, or like I mean, you are in a boat in sea, and you actually watch these things like a mermaid. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, and it probably smells like shit. And I mean, these things. I mean, this is a classical example of something that should be left animated and not brought to life. Like, I mean, it's just disgusting. Why do we need to put life into it? It should stay animated. Anyway, that's my. I'm not going to actually watch it, so let's see what will be the review of my daughters. So that's it, I guess.